peace. That's how they lived. Does it make a little better sense now? They was absolutely tormented because they wanted so desperately to be living in peace with God, but they couldn't do it. Why? Because everything was subjective. That's why I say all the time, you never want to work in a place that has two bosses, because anything with two heads is a monster. Anything. If you walk into a church and there's a pastor this, pastor that, and a pastor that, you're unless they know exactly who that pastor is and follow his every lead, walk away from that church. Because anything with two masters is a monster. Anything with two heads. The Bible says you cannot serve two masters. You can't. That's Bible. But you see what I'm saying? They had. Do you understand why they had no peace? Isn't that true for each of us? Huh? We want to be pleasing to God, but we also find ourselves in this kind of a fix because we want to be pleasing to the church too. You see what I'm saying? That's why God said, now we can get into it, therefore being justified by faith, we have peace with God. And when the Romans got this, when they started understanding this, the relief that come off their shoulders, Brian, that's why I said when we get to chapter 5, it's going to start getting good. Because all along the way, they was getting preached at. The ground was being leveled at the foot of the cross. Everything was becoming level. And now all of a sudden you get to chapter 5, and they realize, I got peace.
Faith takes everything else out of the equation.
Everything out of the equation, and I have got peace with God. You see that? That's what faith does. That's it right there. So let's go on. Therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with God through who? Jesus Christ. So it's all on Jesus, right? It's all Jesus or nothing. That's it. It's plain and simple. And because faith in Jesus gives us peace with God. Next verse. By whom also we have access by faith into His grace. Now look, first of all, we have peace with God because we stand justified. It was just as if I hadn't sinned. So, very first thing, I have peace with God now. Not only do I have peace with God, I have grace. Grace, unmerited favor, right? It's something you don't deserve. It's just freely given to you. And that way, that keeps it in the place where God gets the glory, we don't get any glory. Right? But now watch this. I want you to see the progression that Paul shows us in this verse, the progression of the Christian walk. He says, by whom also we have access by faith into His grace, wherein we stand. Do you see the progression? Here's the salvation, justification by faith, right? Then we have the grace, right? Your salvation. What comes after salvation? What should come after salvation in a Christian's walk?
Sanctification.
What was that?
Sanctification.
Say it real loud.
Sanctification.
Sanctification. Remember, I always illustrated on this side. First of all, you get saved. Here's what gets me. People want to jump past the salvation and go straight to sanctification. I've seen people, it's like trying to take a shower before you get in the bathtub. I've seen people trying to, salvation first. Now, here's what he's doing. He's showing us justification does this for us. Justification by faith through Jesus Christ does these things. First of all, it gives us peace, Brian. Second of all, it gives us grace. Grace does what? Grace helps us live for Him, right? But also it helps us to stand. See what I'm saying? In other words, It's not just a one-time deal, because it moves us from salvation to sanctification. Because now we have the grace wherein we stand. You see that? Is everybody following that okay? I hope I'm getting it out there. Peace with God is this. Let me back up and hit my notes just for a second. Peace with God is this. It's harmony, concord, a tranquil state of soul. It's quietness. Sin is what made us guilty. Justification removes the guilt and gives us peace. I had a bunch of scriptures. I'd like to go ahead and read, if you don't mind, Romans chapter 8.